First up in our first semifinal will be Sera of Korea, and she will face off against Helene Ngom of France. In our second semifinal, Irina Ambric of Estonia, and she will face Alexandra Louis-Marie of France. Referees for tonight: Dora Deli of Hungary, Olivier Bastin of Belgium, Anna Kavria of Serbia, and Ilya Bernatsev of Russia. And our first matchup is going to be Song against Ngom. Song is world number 46. She's 26 years of age. And she came, the last time she was on the podium, she had a third place in Suzu World Cup in 2016. Ngom is 26. She's world number 40 and a real up-and-comer. She finished first in Chengdu World Cup in last season, in 2019, and has done well this season. And it's, you know, we've got so many people here who are, it's not just fencing for qualification, it's fencing for where you're going to come on the team if your team is qualified. And we're waiting for our referee. And while we do that, we'll just let you know that Song defeated Jacques-André Coquin in the quarterfinal. Greta Veras of Romania, Candasimi of France, and Silva Piovason of Venezuela to get here. And Ngom, well, she took out Svitowska of Poland, Violetta Kolobova, Magdalena Piekarska, and world number 5, Kang Young-mi. And every one of these semifinalists has definitely earned their way here. We're just waiting for the referee to get the microphone attached so that we can hear their calls. We've got some tape going onto Song's mask, and I would presume that could be because of the lights.
Yeah, the light is very strong, and it's.
And you can see there that Ngom is presumably having a little. I think she wants some tape as well. Because that's a distraction you don't need when you're on the piste, isn't that right?
Just gotta focus on the actions.
Now it looks to me like they've lowered the lights just a bit. But the Korean coach is in a nice display of sportsmanship, is putting some tape on Ngom's mask as well. There was a competition recently, I can't remember where it was, but the competition was taking place in a hall that had glass walls. And in the preliminaries, they had to move the competition because nobody could see anything. All right, we're underway. First semifinal here in Budapest, women's epee. Song Sera to your left and Helene Ngom to your right. One thing that Song did very well today is distance control. Trying to draw the attack.
Yep. So here we see a beautiful action from Song, and just is able to step back and use that distance to her advantage. Beautiful touch.
Red, Ale.
lovely. Drops into the low line, gets the hit on Ngom's leg. And our first double. Again, dropping down into the low line. It's a really good mix that she started with here.
It is. And the idea is the same. So she's trying to lure her opponent towards the back of the side of her strip, because that's where she's really strong and she can use the distance to her advantage, and she's changing the line. She's going low, she's going high. So Ngom is having a hard time figuring that out.
Well, through there on that attack. But that's the first solo point that Ngom has registered. Now is there going to be and Ngom tumbles off the side of the piste. And Song sort of holding her back. She's asking for a video review. And I would presume that she's looking for a call of KOR.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So the referee is now over at the scoring table with video referee Anna Kavria. Dordelli has had a look, and now they're going to have to rearrange just here in front of us. Have to rearrange the microphone. And referee's coming back. And a yellow card for Helene Ngom, and Song Sera will get to keep that challenge. Ngom able to block Song out on that exchange and get her second solo hit here. And that is it for our opening period. 4 for Song Sera, 3 for Helene Ngom. And you know, what do you make of this match so far? I mean, you expect that they're going to, you know, sort of feel each other out and all of that, but Song seems to have, I wouldn't say an advantage so much as more of a plan.
True. I agree with you. So, of course, you know, it's going to be expected to be a tight match at the beginning. And what Song is doing really well, like we said before, she's playing the game in her part of the strip. That's where she's very strong, and she's letting Ngom come in and changing the lines. Then Ngom in the last 2 solo touches has been able to block her out and figure out how to go in strong and not be lured in by Song's timing. So that's why she's been able to come back to a closer score.
Well, one thing that I have noticed is that Ngom is using a pistol grip and Song is what we call a pommeler. She's got a French grip. What kind of advantage could that give her?
Of course, it gives her a little bit of length, and she's trying to use her French grip with finesse, so she'll do a lot of angulations. She's not going to try to go too much through the blade because that's not her strength. It's more like a pistol grip strength. So she'll try to disengage and work on maybe toe touches, hand touches, and things like that. And like we said, she's back towards the end of her strip, you know, in the second half of the strip.
Well, it took a couple of goes there. Let's see if we get a replay here. We will not.
On guard. Red. Allez.
It's a double, but an interesting angulation there on that from Song as she changed the line coming in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
And that was a surprise attack from Song. So she's been very, very defensive. And now she's scoring a beautiful flash.
And it's that variety that's keeping Ngom sort of on the back foot a bit, because you don't know if she's going to play defense. You don't know if she's going to do something like that, where it's just a very simple, quick, direct attack.
Yeah, she's making it hard to predict.
And Ngom played that well. A slight step back to pick up the attack. And in over the top.
On guard. Red. Allez.
Another double. And though it's a really tight score, it just seems that Ngom is having to work a whole lot harder to get points on the board than Song Sera is, and 3 of those have come from doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Song is looking to her coach. Will there be a challenge? I think she was suggesting to her coach that that was going to be, that was in some way a floor hit.
Yeah, but she didn't call for challenge.
Yeah. Oh, lovely, lovely. And as the second period winds down here, that was a really, really big and really important hit for Song.
Yeah, her timing was very good in that ducking action.
And that will do it for the second period. 10 for Song Sera, 7 for Helene Ngom. And as we pointed out a couple of times already, Margarita, 3 of those have come on doubles. And that's not really a good way. It's not a good plan for getting into a gold medal match. What does Helene Ngom need to do here to really get into this match?
In my opinion, she needs to secure the blade. She needs to go through blade actions to avoid the double touches. And it can be tricky because Song is playing a wonderful game in the back of her strip by changing the targets, doing the higher targets and lower targets, and even surprising Ngom with flushes. So not just playing a passive and defensive game. But Ngom needs to find a way through, trying to maybe change lines and secure the blade so she can have that single light.
Which on paper is a good plan, but Song is making that really, really difficult.
She is.
Here we go, third and final period in this opening semifinal in Budapest. Oh, lovely. Absolutely spot on, perfect. And that really has to take some wind out of Ngom's sails, even though it's just a 4-point lead and there's a world of time here. Those hits have got to have a cumulative effect. But they can also have the effect of getting you fired up. Here, let's look at the replay.
Yeah,
well,
she just missed.
She closed the distance really quickly and made it really impossible for Song to get any kind of angulation, really. Now the double, that's not helping Helene Ngom. Oh, lovely. Now, it looked to me that the hit didn't go through the first time. It was a parry from Ngom and then a continuation around.
Yeah, Ngom had the right idea to let Song lunge into her and parry post, but unfortunately her parry was a little too big and arrived late with the remise from Song.
Well, it worked for Ngom that time. Stopped her in her tracks. Song 2 away from the gold medal match, and Ngom has got to come up with 3 unanswered hits. And there's another double that puts Song within 1. So So that hill just got a little bit higher.
Ale.
Here's one.
There was a great action from Ngom, drawing her out and taking the blade to secure a single light.
And a double does it. 15-13, Song Sera into the gold medal match. And it is bronze for Helene Ngom. I don't think that, she probably doesn't feel that way right now, but I don't think she's going to be too disappointed at coming to Budapest Grand Prix and coming away with a bronze medal.
Of course, it's a wonderful medal. Who wouldn't complain? Who would complain about that?
Well, there you have it. So we've got one more women's Epee semifinal coming up, and we'll wait for them to clear the piste and all of that. But Margherita Guzzi Vincenti, you didn't